Hi, I'm Dennis Murray, and I'd like to congratulate North Road Communications on its 10th anniversary. Let me add a special congratulations to NRC's directors, Paisley Haddad, Allison Foley, and their faculty advisor, Lori Beth Greenan. Thanks for all the good work you've done in organizing this celebration. And you have much to celebrate. What began as a senior capping project a decade ago is now a very successful integrated marketing communications firm with more than 50 Marist students serving 11 clients from the local nonprofit community. In my view, North Road Communications represents two of the very best things about Marist: students acquiring the real-life skills they need for successful careers, and students serving our local community. The talented students of NRC provide clients with a range of professional services, including public relations, advertising, graphic design, media kits, newsletters, social media, videography, and analytics. Students have the chance to put into practice what they've learned in the classroom, and they build their resumes at the same time. In fact, you do your job so well, there's a waiting list of clients who want to work with you. And unsurprisingly, NRC's alumni have gone on to careers at some of the most prestigious communication firms in the country. Best of all, you serve your clients free of charge, which is a huge help to nonprofits with limited budgets. Your work helps these organizations fulfill their important missions, whether it's delivering meals to the elderly, providing opportunities for young people, helping women recover from addiction, revitalizing our downtowns, or rescuing homeless animals. And this, in turn, helps our entire community. So I consider NRC to be the ultimate win for both Marist and the Hudson River Valley. Congratulations again on all you've achieved, and thanks for all the good work you've done. And here's to another decade of excellence. Congratulations.
Welcome to North Road Communications 10th anniversary celebration. We are so honored to share this milestone with our members, clients, friends, family, and the Marist community. What began as a capping project 10 years ago has now blossomed into a fully functioning firm, serving the heart of our community even through a pandemic.
We would like to take a moment to thank President Murray, Dean Snyder, the faculty and staff of the School of Communication and the Arts, especially our faculty advisor, Lori Beth Greenan, our members past and present, as well as our clients for helping us put our motto of doing, helping, learning into practice with their support. Before we get into our featured panel discussion, please enjoy this video package made by our advertising director, Riley Griffin.
North Road Communications, this is Jason Curry with Big Apple Basketball. Congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. I'm so thankful for all the work that you've been able to do for my organization. Words can't express how much I really appreciate the students from Marist College just being so heavily involved and passionate about their work for Big Apple Basketball.
I'm Paisley.
And I'm Allie.
And this is Coffee Talk.
Hi, my name is Kelly Ellenwood, and I'm from Beacon Arts. Congratulations to North Road Communications on your 10th anniversary. Beacon Arts has been a client since 2014, and it has been a joy. every year getting to know each and every one of our reps and then watching them move on to the next exciting stage of their career. Over the years, we worked on quite a few projects, from event management to full-blown PR. North Road was a big reason why the Beacon Free Loop has been so successful. It was a project inspired by them when I saw that college students had done something similar with the city transportation system in my own hometown. North Road was instrumental in creating a logo and helping with creating the bus wrap for this new free amenity in Beacon. After the Beacon Free Loop was established, North Road continued to help create safety videos and an awesome social media campaign to get the word out about the service, the new app, and to help promote Beacon's Main Street in the middle of the pandemic. So proud of you all. Congratulations again on 10 years.
Being a member of North Road is a great way for comp students to gain practical experience maintaining client relations, working on projects in a team setting, and really just gives a great foundation for students to prepare themselves for their careers.
Hi, I'm Susan Plump. I'm the president of the Vanderbilt Gardens Association in Hyde Park, New York. And since January 2021, I've been working with North Road's communication to update our website. It hadn't been updated in 10 years, so it certainly needs a lot of work. I've been working with 3 Marist students that have been very professional and understanding of our needs, and so far have done an excellent job.
Hey North Road Communication, happy 10-year anniversary. My name is Anise Taylor and I'm the CEO of Higher Than 7, and we are a proud partner of North Road Communication. We've been really lucky to be working with such a phenomenal team, and we can't thank North Road enough. We had a big project with the American Crisis, and we had a watch party that really drove our viewership to another level. We want to consistently be a brand to let actors and entertainers know that we are there for them. And North Road Communication has been so helpful in our mission. And our mission is to let you know that we want to help you take it to the next level. There's been so many projects that we've worked with North Road Communication, and it has worked out so phenomenal. So once again, happy 10-year anniversary, and here's to another 10 years.
North Road Communications is progressive, professional,
innovative,
helpful,
Experience.
Passionate,
connected, collaborative,
inclusive.
Literally had chills. I miss Mara so much.
That was amazing. That probably brought tears to my eyes.
We would now like to introduce you to all of our guests of honor.
Please welcome Sabrina Clark, founder of North Road Communications, Jenny Donahue, and former NRC leadership Jackie Gruber, Victoria Bova, Katie Miale, Dominique McInty, Molly Costello, and Maria Geronis. Welcome, ladies. Would you all take a minute to introduce yourselves and kind of where you're working now and what your current positions are?
Sure, I'll go first. My name's Sabrina. I was the capping project. It's just so amazing to see everything that you guys have done so far. So really, congratulations. Currently, I'm the senior director of marketing at brainyourself.com, which is a reputation management and digital privacy firm.
All right, Jenny, what you got? We missed you.
I guess I'll go next. Well, I had the great privilege and honor of working with Sabrina on her capping project, and then served as the first faculty advisor to North Road Communication. And it's just amazing to see how far the organization has come since those early days about 10 years ago. My current position, I am a senior lecturer and director of the public relations concentration at UMass Amherst. So congratulations, everyone. It's so great to be here.
Go Minutemen, Jenny. Go Minutemen. Massachusetts born. I support that. Molly, what are you up to?
Hi, my name's Molly. I'm currently a program coordinator at Excelsior College, which is outside of Albany and one of the pioneers in online education. I was involved in North Road from, I think, freshman year, maybe sophomore, and I was the assistant firm director my junior year and then firm director my senior year. So congratulations, everyone.
We miss you. Oh, Maria, what's up? West Coast representing over here.
I know, I feel pretty West Coast with my board in the background and everything, but yeah, everyone, my name's Maria Gironas. I graduated class of 2015. I think I was in North Road since my freshman year as well, similarly, and I got to work with Molly, Brianna Flynn, amongst other wonderful, wonderful people that I still consider friends. At the moment, I'm actually in between finding my next home right now, job-wise, but I'm in the process of potentially accepting an offer. So cross my fingers with everything right now.
You are a hot commodity. I would not be worried about that. I'm sure people are fighting for you. Dom, what's up? How are you?
Hi, so I'm Dominique. Everyone can call me Dom. I was in North Road Communications since my sophomore year of college and then up into senior year. I started in PR and actually pivoted paths into editorial. So I'm now a shopping writer at a British-based women's lifestyle magazine called Women in Home, and they're aiming to develop a US audience. And what I found is North Road, even though my career hasn't been linear, like I had anticipated working at the agency level, North Road provided me with the skills that equipped me for editorial. And when I was applying to jobs, especially my fellowship before this, I, was on my game with trends and, knowing the industry in and out, just because I had that lens through my experience at North Road. So this organization has been incredibly invaluable to my growth as a professional, and I'm so excited to see all you guys through Zoom and hopefully in person soon.
I love it. And you also, not only as a member and a really driven member, but you also have a fancy connection with our clients, right? With a client in particular.
Yeah, my mom is Denise. She's great. We were just texting about like 5 minutes before this. She was roasting me about my vacuuming skills. But she loves working with everyone, and she is very grateful for everyone's just like passion and, just collaborative energy.
Awesome. Well, we're thankful for that for sure. Jackie, how are you? Jackie, the world traveler.
I'm good. It's so nice to see everyone. I can't believe I graduated like 2 years ago. Last year with my master's in integrated marketing. Currently, I'm working for Golan Global. I'm an associate on the Verizon business account, so doing everything from the enterprise and small business spheres. Love it. It's going so well, and I really, it's awesome to see something so small, develop into such a big idea. And I'm so proud of the agency and everything it accomplished. And, I really credit, my career thus far to North Road.
Awesome. Okay, we got a team here. Katie, how are you?
I'm good. I miss everyone so much. It's so nice to see everyone's faces virtually. So I actually joined North Road a little bit later. I joined my senior year and I was the account executive of Big Apple Basketball. It was the first semester we took them on. So that was super exciting. And then my 5th year at Marist, I was the firm director. Graduated 2020, so last year. And now I am an allocation analyst at the TJX companies. So basically I work for the TJ Maxx branch, and I'm responsible for deciding where, when, and how much of product goes to stores. So similarly, my career definitely took a little bit of a different pivot, but it's just crazy how much, even though North Road is a little bit different, how much it set me up for success in my new career.
Absolute success. Congratulations. Awesome. And Victoria, how are you?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see all your faces. I graduated last year and was co-firm director with Katie. Nice to see you again, too. I am currently a project manager at a market research firm called Savanta. I'd interned for them my junior year, so we stayed in connection, which was great. I had also joined NRC my sophomore year when it was kind of taking an IMC route, because I was a business major, so I wasn't a PR major coming in. I had experience with marketing and advertising. So coming into a project manager role, I really took what I learned as firm director and that professionalism and working with clients to really help boost my career in that aspect. And now I have calls almost every day with different clients, client management, making sure everything is connected, everyone's satisfied, everything like that. But I really am so proud of the work that Allie and Paisley have done since taking over this year. I still follow all the Instagram accounts, everything on social media, and it's truly amazing to see where NRC has taken off from.
I love it. That's everyone. It's so great. I love these storylines. I think a real great way to start kind of the panel discussions, and thank you for those intros, would be maybe taking it back old school with Sabrina and even the conversations that Sabrina and Jenny might have had early on in terms of your vision. Why at the time did it feel like there was a need, and maybe the initial steps in taking off, because I think those roots and that foundation certainly were carried on over and over with each director, even though each director always had a little bit of a different focus. We were always re-educating on the core and why we as North Road existed. So if you could together really take us through those early steps in why was there a need? How did you know? How did you know so early on that this would be success?
Yeah, I'll start. So at the time I was the president of the PRSSA chapter at the school, and worked closely with Jenny from an advisory role on that, and had been to a conference with several other chapters, and they had made it clear at some of these larger schools that they had very successful firms. And what the firms really did is help to bring real hands-on experience to students at a time when they really needed it. And it was an opportunity to get people a leg up for internships. At the time, as now, the job market was a bit on the rough side, and it was all about getting the kind of experience that you could get. And so I thought, I need a capping project. I think this would make the most sense. I would be able to dedicate a lot of time to it, and just worked with Jenny in terms of developing what would set the firm up for success. It's certainly blossomed into something I never could have imagined. I'm so proud of everything that everyone has accomplished, and you guys just really took it and ran. So great job.
Yeah, I would just echo what Sabrina said. I mean, there was a real, I'll never forget when Sabrina came back from that conference and said, I've got this idea for, a student-run agency. And so working with her on developing sort of the foundation for what has now become, I think was definitely much bigger than we had both anticipated. And again, the emphasis was always on how can we give students opportunities for hands-on learning. And I've always been a believer, and I know that so many Marist students, and you all are a testament to this, that one of the best ways to learn is not only by doing, but doing in a way that is going to help our local community, really the true essence of community-based learning. And so we were very fortunate in those early years to take the foundation that Sabrina had created. And then the first year that the firm was up and running was really, I remember that fall semester, it being about setting up the structure, the processes. We were really fortunate to have professional mentors from Ketchum in New York City, work with the leadership team of North Road Communication. And so Helping Learning was inspired out of those initial discussions. And then from there, we were in search of clients. And our very, very first client was the local chapter of the American Red Cross. And in particular, helping them with their big annual fundraising event. And it was at that event, then we landed our second client, and then things have sort of continued from there.
The joy of finding clients right from the get-go. And I can tell you 10 years later, still a major priority. But like actually President Murray had mentioned, we're at a place now because of the values you guys have instilled early on, because of those connections. We know in the professional world now more than ever, now that you guys are out there, that reputation means everything, right? So that basis that that Sabrina brought and those values that together with Jenny you kind of created rolled every year, and that reputation continued. So the clients that we have now certainly are here, not only because of the great talent of the members we have, but because we definitely look at those case studies and that early work, and we're able to showcase how great we've been in the past and how we continue to do those same things. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea to talk about some client projects and hear from you guys, as though and you got some leaderships here that have seen the crazy that happens in PR, and also that success that just feels so good once things are our clients are happy and your work has done really well. Work is done really well. So does anybody here have a client story, maybe some sort of case study that you could share in terms of what you like to talk about with North Road and something that you found to be a really great learning experience at your time?
Wait, just to confirm, are we talking about a client story when we were in North Road or currently at our jobs?
Nope, North Road.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just want to make sure.
That hands-on experience that you had at North Road, that when you got into the real world, it maybe helped you out a little bit.
I'll go. I think Jason Curry from Big Apple Basketball. So he was a client that we actually brought on. I think it was my senior year with Kerry, who I actually just like randomly messaged on LinkedIn because I thought it would be super cool for our sports communication students to have a sports client. And I thought that was kind of a gap that North Road was missing that I wanted to kind of bring to the firm. And he ended up bringing us some amazing opportunities. I think like really with our digital and social team as well, coming up with a strategy for the Junior Knicks competition that he ended up winning, and a bunch of our team members got to go to, I think it was Madison Square Garden, and be recognized with Jason for helping him win and helping develop a strategy and bringing awareness to the nonprofit that I think was really impactful for not only the firm as leaders, but just as our members as well.
Can jump in as well. Like I feel like for me what was funny was you know, I came to Marist a bit of a black sheep in a lot of ways. Like I think I was literally the only person of color in North Road my entire time there, and you know that speaks for itself on its own issues and Marist itself. But I think what was interesting was like, you know, I wanted to be in the music industry, and I think LB and Jenny, they knew that from the day one they met me. And I remember working with like family services amongst other clients, and I was like, is this PR? Like, is this like we like do press releases and things like that, you know what I'm saying? And when we took on the client Beacon Independent Film Festival, I was like, that was the one where I was like, oh, these are my people. Like these, like the arts, and I just felt an immediate synergy with those lovely individuals. And yeah, it was just kind of one of those moments where a point of clarity in that, like, I knew I wanted to do PR, but I wanted to do it in a way that just aligned with so much of what I was passionate about in music. And that's kind of what led me right after school. I was a publicist for 6 years in the music industry. And I still do it here and there just because it's kind of one of the skills I have in my pocket. But North Road provided me like a point of clarity. And I also think too, what was fascinating and something I've really understood in my career now is like managing people is a skill. Like to be a manager, and like that is a whole job on its own. And when I was at YouTube, what was really fascinating is the way Google structures those companies is like to be in a manager role, that is literally the person's job. They do not do anything less or more. Their job is to literally make sure and ensure their team is able to execute on the OKRs within their respective division. So it was just like further confirmation of like, it's a skill to manage people, and to have that so early on is imperative to your growth throughout your career.
This isn't necessarily like a case study, but something I think is important to mention. Kind of like taking notes over here too, so I don't forget anything. But I think something that was really important for me was kind of like going out in the field and like working directly with clients. So I can like distinctly remember one of my favorite things was working with Meals on Wheels, because we were actually like out in the community delivering meals with the members of Meals on Wheels. So it's just really great to see like how impactful that was on the community and like helping Meals on Wheels with things like press releases and different things to help promote their services. And like Maria mentioned, BIFF, Beacon Independent Film Festival, we would go to the location and would help out and just kind of like learn about local people who were contributing to the film festival. So I think just kind of the importance of getting to know your clients is vital. And even though I'm not technically in PR right now, I had some marketing and PR jobs, but transitioned into higher ed. For me, it's like our clients are our students. And so we need to make sure that our students are happy. And, and I hear from students that they're referring their friends to Excelsior. I think about like how PR is really just multifaceted and really is so diverse. You can do so many things with PR. So.
Yeah, that was great. Another thing that I just thought of as well is I think a few years ago, we worked with Dominique's mom, actually, Stepping Out Radio, and we developed this kind of like classroom podcast like situation where we brought in a bunch of speakers from like the Hudson Valley area. And it was what was so cool about that event that we did was not only did we bring people in from all over campus, but it was such a community event. We actually ended up booking a room and we're scrambling to even try to find a bigger room because that's how many people showed up and like time went over. And it was just such an impactful event to hear these stories from people who have been affected by different things, whether it was, drug addiction or alcohol addiction, and kind of just spread that awareness. It was one of those events that I think really had a special meaning behind. That was amazing. And I think it was a great turnout for the client as well.
I think it's funny too, when you're in North Road and you're part of it, it's not always it's not always easy to understand the importance of what's going on in your current day. You're going through the client work, you're going through the building a bigger roster, you're really running as directors, you're really running the firm, and as members, you're really running these accounts. So it's funny when you're in it, like Allie and Paisley now, your outlook on it later on is a little bit different because you can kind of take a step back and think, wow, I did all of that. When you're in the middle of it, it's not so obvious everything that you're tackling. But I think Victoria and Katie, you guys could talk to the pandemic, leading during a time where nothing was certain, but you still managed to get client work, and you were still today with Allie and Paisley continuing on that, being able to allow this firm to still be a firm, for members to still be excited and enthusiastic about the work is one whole job on its own. But keeping that client work and those clients happy is a whole nother part. So could you guys talk to that in terms of the pressures you guys felt just within that last semester specifically, and what you kind of did to rally clients and members?
Sure. Well, as we all know, it kind of happened slowly and then all at once, where everything was getting canceled. We didn't know if we were going home, what's happening with the rest of the semester. So I think the biggest thing that was important here was communication between the clients, between the firm members, and just within ourselves as well. So I think it started off by just kind of seeing where we were as a firm and then how we can adapt to the certain situation that was happening within the world. I believe we started by first canceling the chili cook-off, which was very unfortunate. We were excited. We were going to put it in a new place on campus. It was going to be outdoors. So after getting over that devastation, we kind of took a new turn. Katie and I sent out emails to all of the clients to kind of just say where we were as a school and as a firm and kind of how we can help them. And I think we posed the question to them as well to say, where are you at as an agency, as a company? What can we do for you to help during these times? Of course, we had some clients, I believe it was Meals on Wheels, HPVEC, kind of said, well, everything's shutting down, so we're kind of out for the rest of the semester. But we also didn't take that as a flat out no, which I would kind of give the kudos to our firm members, because we reached out to them as well and said, hey guys, get creative. If you think there's something you can do for these companies that maybe they're not thinking about because at all the chaos that's going on in the world right now, reach out to us, reach out to the clients, and we'll kind of put things together. So we were able to scrape by with a few projects here and there. Some clients that weren't fully affected were able to continue working. But again, it was that communication, our virtual meetings, a lot of emails back and forth, and a lot of organization, but we were able to pull it off and hopefully keep the firm healthy enough for this upcoming year.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with everything Victoria said. I think one thing that was really exciting our last semester was actually we were able to take on another client during all of that, which was Higher Than 7. And I think maybe in a pre-pandemic world that may not have been as viable as an option, just because with all like these Zoom meetings and everything, as much as like we're kind of sick of them, we are able to see clients a lot more often, and clients that aren't necessarily like directly in our vicinity. So I think that has been really exciting, and it's been really cool to see just how like agile and flexible Paisley and Allie have been in the entire firm. It's just been super exciting watching you guys this year.
I think that's a perfect leeway into Paisley and Allie. I mean, your platform here, I would certainly think it's valuable for you guys to share how you kind of took those things that Katie and Victoria created at that time and how that handoff worked to where you are now. And clearly, you know, so many kudos to you for the work that you've put in when the world has been virtual and so unpredictable. Could you guys share your kind of work in terms of taking the reins?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I just want to say thank you, Katie and Victoria, for kind of setting up Higher Than 7, because Higher Than 7 has been one of our, you know, most cherished clients, I think, this semester. You know, their team, headed by AE Emily Bernstein, have been super successful at, you know, creating, you know, press releases, advertising campaigns for their, you know, whenever they release any documentaries, which has been, you know, quite a few times. And, you know, we've tried to get creative with it with North Road, you know, everyone being at home. So we had like a viewing party where we shared like pictures of, you know, NRC members, you know, taking videos of where they were watching it or pictures of it. So that's also been awesome. But, you know, we have been all online this year. So our weekly meetings on Wednesdays have all been virtual. So that's been, you know, challenging because it's hard to meet as a full firm. So we try to do like Zoom meetings once a month with full firm members. Yeah, Paisley, do you want to talk about some of the projects we're doing? I know
Yeah.
gets excited.
I think that adaptability was really the name of the game. You know, this whole year, as soon as we, you know, kind of did our firm director training with Katie and Victoria, we knew this was going to be an entirely different year than ever before. And, you know, Allie and I in the fall semester started a coffee talk video series where we kind of gave the public like updates on our clients and used our YouTube channel to our advantage, like we're using now with this live. And we also started some 20 questions with account executives and really used that video aspect more. So that was a really big change for North Road too, because we were able to get, you know, more media students involved in North Road and maybe, you know, have more opportunities in the future for clients. We were able to provide, you know, garden tours for HVVEC or, you know, Big Apple basketball, some practice videos. So just a lot of projects that involve that digital aspect. And, you know, it's just been so rewarding to watch these firm members that are just so dedicated to North Road, you know, take their expertise that they learn in the classroom and really translate it to these clients that needed our help, especially during this time that was going on. So it's just been a really cool experience to get that, you know, chance to adapt and make things work even when a lot of things aren't working around the country.
We've been able to provide all of our members with the same experience that, you know, members would get pre-pandemic. I feel like it's actually one of the best times to help nonprofits because, you know, they're all struggling through the world pandemic, don't really have the resources or money to pay for any IMC services. So it's just been great to be working with these clients because they're super appreciative and thankful for everything that, you know, all of our students have done. We've also been able to work on North Road internally. So, building, our brand awareness on campus with students and with faculty as well. So we've had a couple events on campus. We had a Marist art student create a mural, and we had a community event. So we're really campaigning for unity on campus. It's kind of nice. Campus life is becoming a little bit more normal, and you kind of like feel a sense of hope on campus now. So it was actually, a great experience to have that on campus and for students to, take a picture of in front of. And we had a North Road sign right next to it. Publicity has been working super hard at, vamping up our Instagram. So we, our social media team worked on creating a logo and all of the creatives this year, and we've been super proud of all of our members. We can't do this without the members, so they really work really hard to get everything done every week. So we're super appreciative of all that.
Yeah, and speaking of that community aspect, one of the special parts of North Road is not only that sense of helping these nonprofit clients with these big projects, but also that community aspect with your classmates that you work with. And there's so many special things that North Road students do on the side rather than client work. So do you all have any memories of those special moments with your fellow FIR members, whether it was the chili cook-off or an agency tour that you'd like to share? Because I know that there's a lot of great memories that, go along with your experience with North Road.
I can speak to that. When we did, I think it was my senior year, we had a networking event in New York City, which was interesting. There were a lot of moving parts. It was like the first event that we had done. I remember we had to get like food, and I actually drove down to the city, and I'm from the suburbs. So like driving in New York City was like very eye-opening for me, and I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but it was a great event, and it was nice to catch up with alumni and see what they're doing. And like, honestly, one of the most important things, and I'm sure you all know this, and one thing that Marist does really well is we have a strong alumni network. I was very lucky to have, I had 4 internships, and I would say with North Road, it's like, when you apply for an internship, they want you to already have experience. And it's like, well, I need to start somewhere. And so North Road was a great way to get that experience, and study abroad. I mean, you have to go study abroad if you can. I know with the pandemic, obviously it's makes things complicated, but I was able to do the London program. And then with that internship kind of led to the next, I was able to intern at CNN during the 2016 election. And so it's just building that network, reaching out to people. And then I would recommend too, one of the most helpful things would be setting up calls with alumni. Like I just reached out to a few people on LinkedIn and said, hey, like, I'm not looking for an in, I'm just looking to see, talk to you about like what you do on a day-to-day basis. What is your job like? Do you have any advice? And I found that really helpful, and I'm still connected with those people on LinkedIn after all those years. So definitely work on networking. I think that's very valuable.
I was gonna give a shout out to Nadine Hoffman. I mean, like LB and Jenny, like all y'all, like were so lovely in the process of North Road. Nadine was the faculty advisor at the time. I was on North Road, and I just like really cherish, like, it wasn't so much like obviously between North Road and graduating and just like life, that happened in between it all. Nadine was one of the first people to pat me on the head and be like, "You're gonna be okay." And I'm very grateful for just like the friendships I still been able to maintain with the faculty, and not to mention the members themselves.
Not to talk too much, but I need to piggyback on that because Nadine is awesome, and I still keep in touch with her. She's from Germany, and she's back in Germany now. And like we're friends on Instagram, and she's like constantly posting pictures of her kids. And like I recently reached out to her because I'm looking at graduate programs abroad in Spain. And so we were talking about that, and like I would use her as like a reference. And so it's just like really great. Jenny, LB, Nadine were my favorite professors by far at Marist. And it's just been so nice to like keep in touch with people.
Well, I have to say, I was super excited when Allie and Paisley put together this panel. I was more than excited to connect again with Jenny, who for you guys, she certainly was a mentor at North Road, but for me as faculty, she was too, always leading the troops in PR and always a mentor for me. But we also are publicists, and we have some abilities to contact people and stalk people and get them to do some things. So it's only right for Paisley to share the next video because I think Maria and Molly set it up a little bit better than I would have. Introducing Nadine.
Happy birthday, North Road Communications. 10 years, what a milestone for you. I am so happy for you. Now, of course, if you're a member of North Road Communications right now, you probably have no idea who I am. But I know who you are, and I'm quite excited for you. My name is Nadine Hoffman. I used to be a PR professor at Marist College, and I was the faculty advisor to North Road Communications from 2013 to 2016. So that was the time right before LB took over. When I took over North Road Communications as the faculty advisor, the firm was much smaller than it is today, with fewer members and fewer clients. But in those 3 years, it already grew quite a bit. I want to say, I think we doubled roughly in clients and also in firm members. And towards the very end, we also started opening it up to other majors and making it a bit of an IMC firm, which I can tell has happened much more since then. You've become much more diverse in your backgrounds. I have fond memories of my time as faculty advisor to the firm. The chili cook-offs, for example, that we had that were quite tasty and fun. I remember creating the first North Road Communications shirt. Well, I didn't create it, but I have one, clearly. I also have very good memories of the lunches with the clients that we had, where we always used our catering money to buy as much Rossi's as we could, and it was a really good time. I am no longer at Marist College, but I do follow you on Instagram, and it's really fun to see you growing and having new clients and doing all this exciting work that you're doing today. I'm also very happy that LB is still your faculty advisor, because I know she has the perfect kind of energy to push you forward and to make you all really excited about the real world of PR. Advising North Road Communications at Marist, I have to say, was one of my favorite tasks as a professor. It was just so inspiring to see students getting this feel of the real world that is kind of hard to get on a college campus. And to get it with the benefits and the downsides, I guess, of the real world. Having to work with real clients, sticking to deadlines, having all that responsibility, but then also feeling all that excitement that you can make a real change, and yet that you can really use your PR skills that you're developing in college to do some good and to help organizations in the community. And that was always really fun to see. I was fortunate to work with really, really motivated and driven firm directors in my time, and also with a great group of students as firm members. And I still consider them colleagues in the PR world, and I keep in touch with many of them, and I'm very happy about that. So today, I would like to wish you a happy birthday. May the teens of North Road Communication lead to even greater things, even more exciting projects, and a great future to all the students who are currently dedicated to it. You are clearly involved in one of the best organizations on campus. I would say maybe the best, but I'm obviously biased. And I think your dedication will really pay off in the long run. So all the best to North Road Communications, and happy birthday. Bye.
I missed that face. I do talk to her often. She's fantastic and doing really well in Germany. And yes, her kids are ridiculously adorable and cute, but there is a throwback for you guys. And certainly, you know, as in terms of advising, an important middle from what Jenny had started in and helped Nadine get into, and then clearly where I am and what Jenny and Nadine had done in terms of that mentorship as the advisor. So that was fun, right? That was fun.
That was so great. And actually, if I could add to that, I'm so glad that we heard from Nadine, because she was so pivotal and taking the idea that Sabrina had, and then taking what we had built in those very early years to the next level. And of course, that's continued with Lori Beth, and of course, all of the work that you all are doing. You know, early on, we had talked about transitioning the firm to become an IMC firm, and to see all of these dreams and goals become a reality, and to see the agency, the firm thriving in the way that it is just so, it's just so amazing. I still can't believe it's been 10 years. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Congratulations to all of you. Gosh, time flies.
And now that we've taken a look into the past, we kind of want to talk about the future to wrap everything up. So where do you all see North Road in another 10 years? I know that's a big question.
Landing some feature stories on GMA. Dream big, guys.
I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why not, right?
I know, I feel like that's the 5-year question you get in interviews, like where will you be in 5 years? And you're like, I don't know. I hope somewhere good. But I would say I'm sure that North Road is going to continue to grow. You know, more students involved and more clients, and yeah, dream big. I feel like anything is really possible. And just, you know, continue to serve clients, and for the firm members and directors just to continue to learn and gain that real world experience.
I see NRC outgrowing every room in LT. I know when we were firm directors, it was hard enough to book a room to fit everybody, but all I can see is expansion in the future. And hopefully we're looking at a theater space. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, the growth you guys have had in the past year in the midst of like a pandemic nonetheless has just been absolutely like bananas. I really think the sky's the limit for you guys.
I think too, like continuing to grow your social media presence. I mean, obviously I follow North Road on Instagram, and just all the recent, you said like the coffee talks and just like spotlighting members. I think it's just so great, especially with the pandemic where we can't be, you know, together in person. I think it's really nice to learn about firm members and see what they're doing, and just continuing those initiatives on social media, I think would be really great.
On my end, I see you guys taking on paid clients and using that money and actually giving it back to the nonprofits you work with. I think there's like a really interesting frontier with like some of the stuff I've even done where like you have people that will just pay you know, work, and then you give them the money and you actually raise money for other initiatives that you guys want to do within the community. So I think there's a lot of future in that, but the future is bright, to say the least.
I love all of these, and I also have to say, you know, right where we are, we have people who have had jobs that aren't technically PR jobs, right? Everybody's intro kind of said where they ended up, marketing, analyzing, all of these different jobs that you might have studied a curriculum that was based on PR and based on certain aspects of communication. And maybe that's what North Road was as we started. But I think in terms of filling stadiums is great. GMA, I know we can do it. There's no doubt we can bring the energy to that. But I also think really allowing students, because it is student run, to showcase your value outside of just feeling like you're PR, you know, because we can say you're PR, but we know now in the real world, PR is a part of so many other things. And I think that from the experience all of you are bringing today to this panel, you might have learned how to write a press release and learn how to do campaign really well. And it blossomed into a career that maybe took a turn to the right or turn to the left. So my hope for North Road as we continue is to learn what students are doing. You know, TikTok's amazing, production is amazing, publishing is amazing. Let's not just be narrow with what we consider to be IMC, but allow ourselves to be a firm that's a communications firm, branching out to allow us to really hone in on what we think is important in PR, and not just you know, what people tell us PR is, because that is such an evolving term.
Definitely. So
I'm sorry. And yes, Maria money. Yes, Maria money. I saw the cash. I saw the cash money. That would be nice too.
I just want to add also before we wrap up that, you know, nonprofit work in general is something that is so important, I think, to learn. And I think that a lot of undergraduate students really appreciate the opportunity because a lot of our members learn how, you know, PR with nonprofits and stuff, and then realize that they want to do PR work in the nonprofit PR work in the future. So it's also just been a great experience, and it's also not a class that is offered at Marist. So this is also giving students, you know, another opportunity to learn, you know, outside of the classroom. And we're just super appreciative of all of the work and, you know, the process you guys, you know, created and started up for us. And, you know, me and Peasley have just loved continuing it. And with the help from LB has been absolutely amazing. So we just want to thank you all.
Yes.
I mean, I'll just throw out the fact that networking is the best part of being part of North Road once you have branched off and graduated. So I see some great happy faces, and I would love to take this panel and anybody that's watching and create some kind of dynamic event where we can celebrate in real time together when the world allows that, because I can only imagine the energy we can get in that room and the ideas we can stir amongst everybody together live, with a lot of hugs and a lot of high fives and a lot of, oh my God, I missed you, for sure. But this panel is just the start of that, and maybe something, you know, there's silver linings in this crazy world we're living in, and maybe this is a start of one that, even though we're celebrating a big 10-year, 11's pretty cool too. So maybe that's, you know, maybe that's something we can continue to do and bring energy towards uniting all of us in this type of way.
Yes. So before we wrap up, I just want to give the final word to Sabrina. You know, what has this been like to watch all this, you know, that you created just as a captain project, you know, evolve into everything?
It's been a bit surreal, to say the least. You know, to go from an idea and to be kind of contacted about it 10 years later. And, you know, I have followed along. I know that you guys have been growing, but until, you know, I was really able to take a look and see just how much you've expanded and the amazing alumni that have come out of the firm and the careers they've gone on to build. And, you know, I can credit a lot of my career to starting North Road, even just as an idea. I mean, the chips kind of fell as they were, where I met the next person through an event that, you know, we were working on. And then before you knew it, I had my first job and my second job, and now the job I'm in now. So I would love to take credit for it, but it was just, you know, you guys did all of the hard work, and it's been so great to see. And I am fully confident and that I will be on the 20-year one if you'll have me. And, you know, just congratulations all around, because it is so well deserved for all the hard work that you put in.
Thank you. And thank you all for being a part of this panel today. And to our viewers, thank you all for attending our 10th anniversary celebration. As we wrap up this crazy semester, we prepare for the start of an 11th year with new members, new leadership, and possibly even some new client additions. So to everyone who's looking to get involved in North Road, applications open soon. So be sure to keep an eye out for that.
And to keep up with all things NRC, visit us at northroadcom.com or follow us on social media at northroadcom.